Hey, Real Nerds listeners, there's many ways you can interact with the Real Nerds podcast. You can email us at realnerds@gmail.com. You can hit us on Twitter @RealNerds. You want to check us out on Facebook? You can. Just look for Real Nerds Podcast. You want to leave us a voicemail? Just call 720-6NERDS5. You want to listen to our episodes? You can check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd
doesn't talk film. I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerd.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast and all those people on Twitch. I am Ryan. Joining me is Brad.
Hello.
Zach.
Hey.
And every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we see a new movie and podcast our experience to the world. This week, we saw Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Stay tuned, because very soon we will tell you if we recommend the film or not, and then play the trailer, and then discuss the film, sometimes with spoilers. I don't know if there's really spoilers in this movie, but maybe. And yeah, that's what we do. Now, normally this time I talk about how great I am and, oh man, look at this cool thing I did this week. I'm so awesome. But I'm going to take people on a journey. Well, not me, personally. Brad, you're going to take us on a journey from Denver, Colorado, all the way to Tromaville, Pennsylvania, where your film, Legend of the Brewmaster, played at Troma Danceville something. Tell us about your journey, Brad.
You can see your brain just working so hard to...
I'm trying to line something up, but it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, I showed the Legend of Drunken Brewmaster, or in this case, the Legend of Drunken Brewmeister, according to their program, at the Mahoning Drive-In in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. Yeah. I'm struggling to remember the weekend because, man, I did a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. And I don't know if you've ever driven 26 hours straight.
I have, actually.
In two directions twice? Yeah?
Yeah, I went and saw Rod Stewart. Well, I guess it was 24 hours. I went and saw Rod Stewart in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, why did it take you so long to get there?
Because
I could have done that in 16.
I don't know. I remember it being almost 24 hours. But anyways, your story, not mine.
Yeah. So we intended to get there Friday evening. So we didn't have a hotel room. So we decided, okay, let's just go another 2 hours and hang out and sleep in Brooklyn, and then get up and go to Coney Island and whatnot, and then go to the drive-in.
So there was no sleep till Brooklyn.
That's right.
Heyo.
We added that song to our stories when we posted about it. So yeah, we got to Brooklyn about 3 a.m. And if you ever wondered how busy traffic is at 3 a.m. in Brooklyn, New York, it's still pretty busy. And
the city that never sleeps, Brad.
Yeah, we slept there for 5 hours, and then got up and went to Coney
Island. In your car?
No, we got a hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got up, went to Coney Island, which doesn't open until noon. So we bummed around the beach for a little bit, and then we went to the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which last time I was there was being renovated. So it was just covered in scaffolding and green textured wrapping, whatever. But it was fully operational, and it is a working firehouse. And yeah, it has the logo on the front, and inside they sell Ghostbusters merchandise. So I bought a Ghostbusters patch.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like $5. Yeah, I'll support the fire department.
Hell yeah.
NYFD. So that was cool. And then we went right back to Coney Island now that it was operating, and had fun there. When we were done with that, I came out and got a parking ticket.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you pay it?
I will.
Okay.
So, what? So, if you see a sign that says "No standing," what do you think that means?
Don't stand there. I don't know.
Yeah, don't be a human body that's standing around in one spot for too long.
Yeah.
Apparently, that applies to cars.
Hmm.
And that's what that means. It means no leaving your car in a zone for more than like drop off time. So,
Oh, well, I mean, at least they didn't tow it.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, learn something new.
So we went to the drive-in.
But you know, your problem is you're fucking Westerner, and you come up to New York, you try to figure out what the fuck to do, and you're too fucking stupid. That's my New York guy. Pretty spot on.
Pretty accurate. Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah. So then we drove back to the drive-in. And the first night they had Romeo and Juliet and Sergeant Kabuki Man, and one of the film which we were too tired to stay through, so left that early. But while we were there, we met Lloyd Kaufman. He signed our poster. That was pretty cool. Got a picture taken with him.
Nice.
And yeah, the drive-in was cool. About half capacity. Their drive-in actually allows for camping, so the back rows, people just have tents set up and stuff, so that's neat. The next day, we met up with a friend of mine from high school during the day, and then when we went back to the drive-in, it was the big day with the 3 Toxic Avenger films, and Ryan hadn't seen. I'd seen each of them before. Ryan hadn't seen any of them. Ryan was the guy I was driving with. He's the star of the Drunken Brewmaster. But it was packed because most other people didn't have to drive as far as we did, so like their weekend was Saturday. So we got there, and we're kind of sitting around waiting for the movie to start, and we said, well, I don't need to watch the Toxic Avenger again. And Ryan's like, I don't need to ever watch it. I'm just here for the film on Sunday. So, and we already met Lloyd. So we said, screw this. Let's go back to New York. So I showed Ryan Times Square because he'd never been. And it was like that strip where, the iconic part. Most times I've been there, it's been like a weekday or winter. And so this was summer on a Saturday night, and it was packed. Like I should have COVID. Everyone is just taking selfies or taking pictures of other people, for their blogs or their vlogs. But it's still mesmerizing. And like, I'm trying to find the billboards with, Darth Vader slashing through it, because it's like, it looks like it's supposed to be there, that stuff. So that was cool. And then we went to Rockefeller Center, checked that out, and Grand Central Station. I just gave Ryan the Manhattan tour in under 2 hours. Yeah. So
you've been to New York enough, Brad, to be able to know how to get around and shit.
I've done enough 2-hour tours to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah. So then day 3 was the big day of showing the film, and we're like in this block of shorts that are all subversive and have weird shit going on, and we're watching ours, and we were just kind of wondering, like, why did they pick ours? Like, it's so tame compared to all this other stuff. And that's also, it's a drive-in, so everyone's in their cars, so that you can't really hear everyone's reaction to it. Like, there's claps at the end that you can hear, and but yeah, it's just kind of, it played, and that was it.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was a good mix of stuff. Like, they had a really good variety of things, lots of animation, foreign films even. So, and then there was like these 2 big features that they promoted all weekend that we had to miss, so that was a bummer.
Brad, you left off the part where you made Real Nerds famous on Quick Stop.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, we went to the Jane Silent Bob's Secret Stash, which, since I'd been there last, they'd moved down the street and really upgraded. Like, it's bigger, it's got more elaborate design, like promotion of stuff. They have like an outside window case with all the memorabilia from the films, and the inside has the fake Quick Stop facade. So I got a comic there, and then we went over to the actual Quick Stop and bought some supplies for the road. And then since I've been there, Kevin Smith has like bought the other half of or I guess maybe leasing the other half of the structure, because there's the Quick Stop on the one end that you see in the movies. Then there's RST Video, and then there's still like another structure twice that size attached to the other end of the building, and that's now the Smod Castle, where they do live podcasts and events there. Which
they're actually trying to do, I think, some other interesting stuff there beyond just that. Like, I know they're going to do the film festival there.
Yeah, the film festival will be there, but this particular weekend, nothing's going on, so it's just closed. But I threw a Real Nerd sticker on their window, so kind of like a little hello from the Real Nerds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard Walt Flanagan doesn't run that anymore. Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yeah, no, he's retired.
I didn't know if he retired or what. They really didn't say anything, but
yeah, it's on the Tell 'em Steve Day podcast. I mean, they didn't announce it, but if you listen to them just talk, it comes up in conversation. But yeah, so while I was there, last time I was there, it was a Sunday, and Sunday Jeff was there. And even though this was a Friday or Saturday, as I was walking around, the door was open to like the back room where they store everything, and there he was again. So, but yeah, the front counter just had like kids, like teens or young adults that hired help, running the show. So
yeah,
right on. The next generation of clerks.
The next generation, yeah. So
very cool.
Yeah, I got pictures that I'll be posting and of all that, and yeah, it was quite an adventure. And someday I hope to go back at a leisurely pace. Hopefully, I'll go to the film festival because accepted our film.
It'd be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, thank you for that, Brad. We saw Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Brad, do you recommend Marcel the Shell?
I saw this movie probably 3 weeks ago, so my memory of it's a little fuzzy, but the thing I remember the most about it is that absolutely you should see it. It's completely delightful.
Zach?
If you don't like this movie, I don't know what to do with you. There's nothing but pure, unadulterated joy. And it's similar to a Paddington scenario where you look at the Rotten Tomatoes and you see it's 99% and you want to shake the one person who dropped it down, like just shake them very hard. It's just wonderful. I liked watching this kind of stop motion innovation happening with a documentary style. I might be ignorant of other films that done it, but I don't think I've ever seen it done this way before. It's just absolutely stunning to look at, and the story is so simple, and it just hits an emotional core in such a beautiful way. Yeah, go see it.
Yeah, this movie is incredible. And to your point, when I went on Rotten Tomatoes, there's something like 89 reviews or something, and it's literally one review that did not like the film. And it has to be on purpose, because it got me to click to their website. It's like the Twins of Evil, or I forget what it is.
Yeah, they're evil, all right.
It's just like a movie review site, and it's like who's that one dude? He's infamous for doing it. Or if the movie's really bad, he'll be the one guy who likes it, so it makes it like 1%.
Is he he must have been the guy who did that for like Lady Bird or fucking Get Out or Paddington or whatever.
Yeah, but like, really, you're the one person out of 89 of quote unquote real critics that doesn't like this movie. I don't know. It's just always weird to me when movies are so well revered. It doesn't really matter if it's Marcel or Paddington or even something like The Dark Knight that's at 97%. Who are the 3% of people that don't enjoy it? I just don't get it. Anyways,
the Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, they don't like Batman, Peter, or Ryan, sorry.
The Legion of Doom are the people that don't like it.
Yeah, so. They're the ones who are review bombing fucking Rotten Tomatoes.
The Black Manta, get out there and hate this movie. Yeah, you should see this film because it is delightful. It's wonderfully done. Here's the trailer for Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
All right, so I'm making like a little documentary.
Oh, it's like a movie, but nobody has any lines, and nobody even knows what it is while they're making it. No?
Tell me about what's life like.
It's pretty much common knowledge that it takes at least 20 shells to have a community. My cousin fell asleep in a pocket, and that's why I don't like the saying everything comes out of the wash. Because sometimes it doesn't, or sometimes it does, and they're just like a completely different person. So, it's actually only 2 of us now. Myself and my grandmother, Nana Connie. We like to watch 60 Minutes because Leslie Stahl is fearless. Nana, make the noise. Sometimes I find my mind wandering, thinking, what would my family think? Do you think they could be out there?
Marcello, let's forget about being afraid. Just take the adventure.
Okay, let's do it. Hi, everybody. It's Marcel. I'm recording this video because I'm looking for my family.
There's no point listening. I don't
Marcel the Shell and the search for a family reunited. Marcel, how long has it been since you've seen your family?
I couldn't tell you, but the space in my heart gets bigger and louder every day.
Dean, do you know how long?
That's 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice to know. There's so many places that they could be.
Marcel the Shell with shoes on. You are beautiful.
There must be so many others like me. He has got to go. Not that I don't like Arthur.
Not that.
No! Oh my God!
Arthur.
No!
Arthur.
Off!
The basic premise is Marcel the Shell is literally a shell that has shoes on, but is sentient. So he like talks and walks and does all this stuff. And he lives in this home with his grandma. And you learn that the home has become an Airbnb because the people that live there got a divorce or broke up or something. And when they did that, they took all his family shells and
accidentally.
Yeah, and cereal and Chex Mix and crackers with them. And
Sewing kits. Like,
yeah. And when they do that, Marcel is by himself just with his grandmother. And it just so happens that a filmmaker goes to the house and wants to start filming Marcel and his life. And as he does this, you learn that Marcel misses his family and he wants to be reconnected with his community. And so they send out a plead on YouTube. And when they do that, it catches the attention of 60 Minutes and Leslie Stahl, who Marcel loves. And she comes and interviews him. And that's the basic premise of it. There's a lot more to it, but that's what happens in the movie. And right away, I mean, I was transfixed into this world immediately. Because they show him how, you know, he sets up the cord with the record player and, to get things, and his grandmother, gardens because she read the book. And it's just a really cute movie that has tons of heart to it.
yeah, it's so simple, and it's lovely to look at a sentient being like that shell and being like, I don't need to know why it's talking. I don't give a shit. Like, I just want it to talk. Ryan, I didn't realize the Chiodo brothers were involved in this.
Yeah. They're of course famous for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
That's fucking insane. I love it. I love that they did that.
They also did the Ninja Turtles live action show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're one of those studios that keep on making things, and you forget that how influential they are, because they're they're not out there and in your face like I'm not in a bad way, but maybe like Stan Winston was, or even K&B. They're just an effects company that does lots of things and just kind of sticks to their own shindig.
Right. Well, I mean, like they've done it. Like I didn't realize until looking it up like earlier, but like they were puppet supervisors on Team America and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like they've got their own wonderful thing going. So, but it makes me want to rewatch Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is not the thing you should take away necessarily from Marcel the shell with shoes on.
But yeah, but it also has a lot to say about society now too. I really loved how the movie unfolded, and the people that lived there had a fight, and the documentarian who was there, was separating from his wife, and Marcel would ask him questions, and he kept on saying, well, this is about you. And Marcel has this great personality where he just likes everybody and is very curious, and he cares for his grandmother. When she gets hurt and is basically dying, and he wants to go on 60 Minutes, but he won't go on it because he needs his grandmother to feel better, and then she fakes being better so he'll do the show. I mean, it's really touching, but at the end, what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just played so well. Did either of you watch their shorts on YouTube? I've never seen them.
I haven't, but yeah, I liked what I had to say about like internet celebrity, because there's that great middle of the movie where he's trying to the documentarian is trying to build a campaign to to help if we get this out there, the world can help you find your family and where they went, and they can help us track them down. And Marcel gets huge, but it's all about all these strangers coming and then just like latching onto that celebrity by just taking photos of the house, and like so they're like, hey, we showed up here, and like that makes that's great for us, but no one's engaging Marcel or actually doing any of the hard work that it takes to track the family down. So it's just this really shallow like look at like how the internet is used incorrectly, I guess.
And what line does he have when he says, I have all these people like liking me, but I don't have a community? It's something along the lines of that. I can't remember it right now.
Like that, yeah.
When he's scrolling through the comments, because all the comments are, OMG, he's so cute. OMG, I love him, or things like that, but they don't really help him. And he has this really poignant line that I wish I can remember.
Yeah, I saw it weeks ago, so I have no idea.
I'm blanking on the line. It amounts to the thing that they see visually in those comments, where instead of I think it's literally just like people commenting, but they're not participating. Like I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. Like it's a very firm but kind pointing of the finger that I think is better handled than just yelling at somebody. Like it shows it from the kindest place imaginable, like how shallow the reception is when you see a viral video of that nature. And it's not an indictment against creators, it's an indictment against the fans, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, and the character of Marcel is just is so optimistic, and he's so great. There's a line in it too, then this one actually stuck with me and I remember it, is he tells Dean, the documentarian, he says, why I smile a lot. And, Dean says, why? And he says, because it's worth it. And things like that. And where this movie doesn't really have, lots of stakes assigned to him finding his family, but how you feel when you watch it, it's just one of those movies you just feel good watching. And, the stop motion is incredible, and the way it's filmed is incredible.
Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. Like,
it is
all
so
the shots
well
are just
done.
gorgeous. Yeah,
and the little details throughout it are just fantastic.
Yeah, there's like a wide shot of the laundry room. I think Marcel's like sitting on the window or standing on the windowsill. And if you look really closely, like there's a little trail of like honey shoe prints leading up to that spot. Like they're very faint, but like it's a wide shots. You probably wouldn't notice it, but they still put them in there. So,
and because it's a funny thing where he puts honey on his shoes so he can walk up the walls. And there's little things going on throughout the film where he's doing it a bunch, and he also kind of does it to escape. And it's just so well done. I mean, I can't say enough about how wonderful this movie is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a little confused about all the other anthropomorphized stuff that, like in the finale, there's not just shells, but
like I said, Chex Mix and cereal,
and was one of them a tampon?
Yep.
It's like, okay.
I mean, you have no idea where they come from or what they are, because they never really explain how Dean finds out about Marcel and his grandma.
Yeah, and did we find out more about the couple's backstory? Like, I know it comes at the end, but like it's been a while, so I forgot. Did they say what sent them out of the house?
No, they just had an argument.
It was just an argument. Yeah,
just an argument, and that's how Marcel found his families, because they all hide in the drawer when they argue.
It literally culls itself down to a bare essential and drops you right in the middle of it. I not once in this movie did I ask, well, what's their backstory? Because I'm just like, it literally does not matter. We're dealing with a shell right now. But I mean, it's the one like character trait for Dean is that he's going through a separation, which I guess he and Jenny Slate are now separated, but they were a couple when they started making these videos. So that lent a little real life authenticity to it. It sounded like.
Yeah, and Jenny Slate, man, she crushes it.
Oh,
I mean, she's already pretty great if you watch her and things. I adore her in Parks and Rec, but she's really talented, and not only can she write and sing and act, but she's an incredible voice actress who, I mean, I guess because she's so talented, it's not that shocking, but I mean, how she's able to convey that innocence but also wisdom at the same time is a testament to her incredible voice acting ability.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just love this movie, and it's one of those movies that's having a slow rollout and it's starting to pick up steam. So I hope it continues to do well. And these are the type of movies that I love seeing A24 make, because they're the only ones who would take a chance on a film like this. And it didn't fall into the A24 sometimes traps that they get into where it's so bizarre that it's off-putting, where this is just a really cute movie and really well made.
This just makes you feel good watching it, because it's such a kind movie.
It really is, and like I said, even the part with the grandma who just wants him to be happy and find his community, because she knows she's going to die. So he needs to get out there and find someone else because he's going to be by himself. So they had a really sweet relationship, and it was just a really great movie. That's all I can say about it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Because everything else is really just like you're just watching his life unfold, like just the random mundane things that he does to deal with this problem, like passing the time while trying to find a solution to find his family, and with very little resources until this documentary comes along.
I will add one thing to it. I went and saw this at the Alamo, and I saw it at noon on a Monday, and it was in Theater 4 at the Sloan's Lake Alamo, which is one of the bigger ones. And so I got Kellen and Kellen's really good at movies. He doesn't talk. He understands, because I've ingrained that into him, that when you're in movies and you're seeing them, at a theater, you can't talk. You need to enjoy the movie, and that's what we do. So, anyways, we get there, and Kellen and I are the only two people in row 4, and the rest of the theater, there's like maybe 6, 8 more people in the theater that have already bought tickets by when I bought them. So I don't know, there's 70, 80 open seats in this theater. And so Kellen and I are sitting in row 4, like right in the middle. And about 4 minutes before the movie starts, this older couple comes in, and the lady sits right next to Kellen, and then her husband sits to her left. And then she gets up and moves to the other side of her husband, obviously because she sat next to my son. And the server came by, and he said, "Oh, this isn't your seat. Your seat's the one to your husband's right." And she said, "Yeah, can I just switch seats?" And he says, "Well, you can go see the concierge and they can change your seats for you." So he got up and left, and I leaned over and says, "Yeah, we don't want to sit next to you either." And she and her husband got out and never came back.
Wow.
But my point being is they let you pick your seats, and there's 70 other open seats. And why did you sit right next to us? And you're going to be not a nice person and, think that my kid's going to be a problem in this movie. I bet she's the kind of person in a movie who says, "Who's that person? I recognize the voice." Anyways, that's my bitch for the day. But I made someone leave the theater because I called them out on it.
Nice. No, I'm here for that. Cause yeah, you bought the seats. There was no one when you bought the seats. So
yeah, like we were the only two people there. And Brad and Zach, you probably know this about me too, that if a theater is that open, I am not going to pick a seat right next to somebody.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. They when they bought their seats, there was clearly 2 dots taken up, and they were like, "This will be fine. I'll go sit next to these people despite all these other ones being open. I want to be right up front because I'm special and I should be in the best possible seat. And maybe if I sit down, they'll not want to sit next to me and they'll move.
Yeah.
And I'll get the seats I really wanted."
It was just aggravating. And that's why I told her, I said, "Yeah, we don't want to sit next to you either." And she got up and left with her husband. So I win.
Wow.
And they were probably like walking down the hallway on the way out and be like, "That server embarrassed me. And that guy was so rude. We should just go somewhere else."
That guy's an asshole in his Rod Stewart hat and his Captain America shirt. Fuck him.
We're never coming back to the Alamo Draft House.
I hope that was a conversation they had all night long. And the wife wouldn't let it go, and the husband's going, "Please shut the fuck up. Again, with the people sitting next to you, just shut the fuck up."
30 years of this, and I'm done. I'm done. Karen,
I made them get a divorce. That'd be my dream. But yeah, like I said, don't pick the seat next to us. It clearly marks, like, there's the circle with the line. Why can't we just go to the
theater and have a good time? You always do this.
I just wanted to sit down, eat some popcorn, and watch a fucking shell talk about his life. And you fucked it up again because you're such a bitch and you run your mouth. Oh, man, that'd be awesome if that happened. That's my goal. That I created marital strife and it ended in a divorce. or a burial in the backyard. I don't care which one.
Wow. Okay. We jumped from one thing that was bad enough.
He killed her and he buried her in the backyard. I
got you, buddy.
I don't know if the joke landed.
Oh no, it landed. The problem is it crash landed.
It just irritated me.
Let that be a lesson to anyone when choosing seats. Your choice of seats could ruin your marriage.
Exactly. Don't pick the seats right next to somebody else when there's 80 other open seats.
Yes, that is the first rule in the marriage counselor's handbook. I forgot about that. Don't pick the wrong seats at the movie theater.
Because at noon at the Alamo is usually for like the kid showings, when they come in, they have a little like cartoon film reel guy comes out and it says, "Hey kids, remember to be respectful." And right in front, this is what I mean. The guy right in front of me brought his little boy too. So he must have saw that the 2 seats we had were taken. And he says, my son and I will sit in front of these people because I've taught my son to be a respectful moviegoer. And his little boy was younger than Kellen, and he was a good boy too. He got his corn dogs and didn't say a fucking word. So fuck that lady.
You know, historically, when I've gone to matinee shows that early, and it's usually older people there, they are often very rude. They're the worst, right? They will talk. They will just talk through the movie. Like at the Chez Artistes or the Mayan, like that usually happens, and they're just shamelessly having a conversation the whole time.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point though, Brad. I tell people to shut the fuck up because I'm just tired of it. It's annoying. So,
well, it's a little easier when you have your kid because, like, who's really going to engage you? And
my dream is for someone to engage me.
Like last time I told someone to shut
Laura
up, they assaulted me. So,
yeah, I'd welcome it. Like, you're gonna do something about it. Sweet, please do. Give me a reason. I always say that in my job too. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Anywho, that was my Alamo story for the day. That I made some old lady and her husband leave.
No, that's cool. It's time for us to rise up.
Yeah, I hope they didn't stop at the box office. I hope they didn't get a refund or anything. And then the husband's like, "You cost me $26. You." Anyways,
I hope it continued at the box office where the cashier was like, "Okay, can you state the reason for your seat change?" And she had to actually say like, "Well, I didn't want to sit next to a little boy." And then the cashier was like, "Oh, all right, wow, okay, I can change your seat." But yeah, I hope it was really judgy.
I hope so too. That's our goal. So, thanks for listening. We usually do other things, but Brad told a story. We reviewed the film. I think that's a good cutting off point for a podcast.
Wow, really? No news this week? No,
I didn't see anything.
There is news. It came out today.
Oh, sure, Zach. Regale us with movie news.
It's real news.
So remember the Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Are we still talking about this stuff?
Yeah, I guess we are because apparently all the fan fervor for that was bot controlled.
No way.
The Warner Media had commissioned a report that indicated at least 13% of the accounts that took part in this conversation about a Snyder Cut were deemed fake. And part of the reports and milling around suggested Zack Snyder was throwing around his clout in a bit of a negative light. I don't know what to fully make of it because they're literally making Snyder out to look like a supervillain, and some of it seems a little bit unbelievable. But
actually, it doesn't to me. The whole thing with it seemed really disingenuous because they even voted for the stupid Oscar thing for the fan moment of the year was The Flash. Are you kidding me? That reeks, and that's the problem when you do things on Twitter or Facebook is nothing is genuine. You can hire robots or bots to go in and vote for you by hashtags. And I had this thing too with getting media credentials for a certain event where you had to have 2,000 followers on all your social media platforms, which I could totally get if I paid for advertising and had a bunch of bots like my page. And that's all it is. And the culture that online perpetuates now is one of negativity and demanding to get your way. And it's and some of the release of Snyder Cut people are some of the worst on the internet. They're just mean. But also Warner Brothers doesn't know if they're pitching or catching. The tone of their movies are all over the place. They have no cohesiveness. So don't embrace, a Marvel style cohesiveness to your universe. Just make cool fucking movies like The Suicide Squad or Shazam. You don't have to tie them together. Just make good movies that tell interesting stories. They fucked this up so bad, from Joss Whedon telling Gal Gadot that she's not talented, and to whatever he said to Cyborg guy, Ray Fisher, this has been toxic forever. So they need just a clean slate, because not only do they have a problem with their movies, but they have a problem with Ezra Miller right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess Black Adam, it looks interesting. So they have nothing to blame but themselves for not a cohesive unit, for creating a hostile work environment, a toxic work environment.
Yeah.
Everything they've done, they've reaped and sowed. And whether it's Zack Snyder or Warner Brothers, but they've also cultivated this fan base of negative reaction. So I don't feel bad for Zack Snyder and or Warner Brothers, because I think Zack Snyder is up his own ass right now. When you watch stuff like the Justice League, which is a fine, okay film, but Army of the Dead is garbage. So I'm sorry, I just ranted there, but I just get tired of.
Go back. What are the bots for? Were they for the Oscars thing, or were they for the getting the director's cut made?
It was for getting getting for the director's cut made. The Oscar thing has actually been this weird defensive point from the Snyder fans that are legitimate, or not, I have no idea what's real and what's fake anymore. But Warner Media was the one that commissioned the study, but it's almost like at the same time you're doing that, you're also kind of like pointing out your insecurity over decisions you've made prior. And like, you're under new management now. Like, as Ryan said, it's time for clean slate time. You can't, why keep digging into this hole?
So the new management conducted a study about the old management that said the old management decided to, hey, let's fake a bunch of.
No, the accusation is that Snyder was behind the bots.
So Zack Snyder himself was like, I'm going to take this release to Snyder Cut people, and increase a bunch of or create
awareness
bots
about it. Yeah, it's so
to encourage Warner Brothers to greenlight it.
Yeah, if you go to Rolling Stone, they have the whole article, and it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
but it goes really into that Warner Brothers believes that Snyder hired these internet firms. I don't even know what you'd call them, but hired people that are social media savvy to create bots that would populate Twitterverse, Facebook, and stuff with hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And by doing that, Warner Brothers felt compelled to give him $100 million to complete the film. And so they launched this thing into it, and they found that bots accounted on average 3 to 5% of all hashtags. But for the Snyder Cut, the bots accounted for 13% of them. So a substantial amount more. And it's a lot to unpack, but I think that where it's hard for me to think that Warner Brothers is genuine in this too, because ever since that merger with Discovery, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing there. I don't know if I can say this on a podcast, but I'll say it anyways. I talked to a certain very talented comic book artist off the record, and I won't say who it is, but they talked about Warner Brothers not knowing what the hell they're doing, and that there's chatter that they're trying to get rid of DC and the IPs because it's the most valuable thing they have, and that so they're going to break off the comic book part because they only want to focus on unscripted shows. I mean, they've canceled shows on TBS that are already finished. So what you're saying is Warner Brothers is no longer a film studio anymore. It's now pretty much.
Wow, that is fucking depressing.
Yeah. So because Discovery is in charge of it now, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but it's not the first time I've heard this, because it not only was a comic book creator that I talked to off the record, but I also talked to, I might give too much away. I talked to someone who's been in the TV business for 30 something years, and they told me the same thing, that it's good to get in with Disney right now because Disney Plus and their movie division is cultivating an artistic, I don't know what you call it. Like they have room for cartoons and streaming stuff and theatrical releases. So you feel more comfortable working for them. And Disney still wants to produce comic books. So, they're separate entities, but they're not looking to get rid of, Spider-Man because he's worth several $1 billion, where Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to dump Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, who are, worth several billions of dollars because they can make money back. Wow. So anyways, that's my rant, and I've heard it from several people. So the people that are in charge of Warner Brothers right now, I don't know. I'm not going to speak ill of them because I don't know, but it seems that they're really going that way. And also, that's why they really haven't announced what the next game from NetherRealm Studios, who makes Mortal Kombat and Injustice, is. And one of the rumors is why they're making Mortal Kombat is because they can't make an Injustice game because they don't know if Warner Brothers video games are going to still release video games. So they don't want to spend all this time building a new Injustice game with DC IPs, and then Warner Brothers go, oh, well, we don't want to release these games. So it's a mess.
Ryan?
Yes?
If they take away fucking Warner Archives, I swear to fucking Christ. Jesus.
I mean,
cool. If they sell Warner Archives to like Shout Factory or whatever, I don't care. They don't care about
That's actually a good point. Give it to
they
Data
don't care
Criterion.
about their past anyways. So
clearly not. If they're not trying to find a cut of Night at the Opera that clearly exists in Hungary that has more footage in it. Anyway, that's my rant over.
I mean, 20th Century Fox is gone, but their films are finding life on Disney Plus. So there's no
that's what I mean.
Warner Brothers can't.
Most of Young Frankenstein's not available on there.
Well, you know how you stop all this?
Physical media. Yeah,
you stop all this just by physical, because also Netflix just released. They're going to start really cracking down on password sharing. That if you're sharing your password, you have to pay an additional like $4 a month when it's already the most expensive streaming service you can have. Fuck them.
Whatever. They're not going to recklessly give Martin Scorsese money anymore, so I don't kind of give a shit about them anymore.
Yeah, but they paid $400 million for Knives Out and its sequel. Come on.
I know. That's true. I am going to watch that.
I'm going to watch it, but is it subscribers really the problem? Or you don't know? You know what I mean?
They don't know what people want. Nobody knows what anybody wants anymore. This market's uncertain. The whole world's topsy-turvy. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. That's a reference. But yeah, regardless though, I didn't mean for this to be a larger thing than it was. I merely pointed it out because it's kind of a weird like epilogue to the Snyderverse thing.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out.
Interesting. Yeah,
I'm still trying to go back to the beginning where he quit because the tragedy with his daughter, but then while that was going on, he's like, I'm gonna buy a bunch of bots so I can get back on this movie, even though I quit it. Like, okay.
Well, it's a combination of he left, but also they were actively pushing for him to kind of scoot out so they could bring Whedon in.
I think it's Walter Hamada. It was the president of DC at the time. He did not like whatever. If you read the article in Rolling Stone too, it goes back that they weren't happy with Batman, Superman, and then he started making this movie because they committed to Justice League before Batman and Superman was made, and they just weren't impressed, and that's the real reason they brought Whedon on. And I don't know. I don't know what to say.
What was wrong with Batman v Superman? Brad was killed by comments.
Batman v Superman.
Brad was immediately killed by comments.
Yep.
I have died of comments.
Why did you say that word? All right. Anyway,
anywho, it's over with. And hopefully, it's sad that Warner Brothers has this amazing catalog and amazing properties and amazing IPs. And now, who knows? I mean, what's the next Warner Brothers movie that's even coming out? You know what I mean?
Black Adam.
It's Casablanca 2.
So October? What was the one before that? I don't even remember.
August 5th, there's an untitled WB event film. for wide release. I'm guessing that should be taken off the...
Like I said, Casablanca 2.
Well, actually, July 29th, there's the League of Super Pets. That's a Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah,
film.
I guess that's the big one.
That's what's going to save the studio.
And then there's a untitled event film that has had no promotion, has no title, on August 5th.
Yeah, I can't wait to see League of Super Pets. Speaking of which, July 29th is going to be Filmsplosion 2002. So if you have those lists, make sure you get them to us. And I was thinking too, Brad, we're like, man, we got to pad some movies. August 5th, not only does Bullet Train and another movie we're going to see come out that day, but on Hulu, the new Predator movie comes out that day too. So
Bodies.
Yeah. So there's 3 movies we can spread out the month of August and watch.
Cool.
I mean, if I had the choice, August 5th would be Prey, but
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get to all 3 of them. So
yeah,
any combination of that's fine. Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver. Greetings. This is Brad from the future. I'm recording this in next week's episode because I haven't put out last week's episode yet. So you're going to get next week's information in a previous episode and then reiterated in the current week's episode. So check this out. This week at the Esquire, the late night is The Empire Strikes Back. Last week it was A New Hope, but I was out of town at Trauma Dance and didn't get the episode up, so you wouldn't have known that. But now you know that this week is The Empire Strikes Back, and next week will be Return of the Jedi. They are the special editions, and you can watch those at 10 p.m. at the Esquire. Also, in September, Tommy Wiseau is coming back in person to screen The Room for everybody on Friday, September 16th and September 17th. Tickets are $20 for those, but it is worth it to see Tommy Wiseau in person introducing his film, The Room. So go to landmarktheaters.com/Denver to buy those tickets. And at the drive-in, the Holiday Twin double feature on screen 1 is Minions and Jurassic World Dominion, and screen 2 is Thor: Love and Thunder and Top Gun Maverick. And of course, the 88 Drive-In is screening Minions and Jurassic World Dominion through Thursday, July 21st. So it may change tomorrow. I don't know. I don't think it will. But yeah, don't forget to buy one of their new t-shirts that I designed if you go there. So that's what's going on around town.
Corinne here for another installment of Showtime. But instead of telling you about something cool I've been watching lately, I am instead going to tell you about something terrible I watched, namely Netflix's 2022 Persuasion. Oof. Okay, so off the bat, I'll say I had to watch the movie in 2 different sittings. At first, I was with my friend Julie. She's a big Jane Austen fan like me. And we got through, I'd say, about half, maybe 2/3 of the movie. And we got interrupted. We weren't able to finish it together. So I had to finish it separately later last night by myself. And it was way more fun watching it with Julie because we were able to just sit there and roast it and complain about it the whole time. But then watching it by myself, I was just... it's so cringy and terrible, and I actually was watching it on my phone because at least on mobile, you can change the playback speed, so I increased it to 1.5 times speed and just kind of blitzed through it that way, which was probably the best way to do it. If I could have done it up to 2 times speed, I would have, but it only goes up to 1.5, so yeah, that sucks. Okay, there are a few good things about the movie, but on the whole, it's terrible because they try to do 2 different movies at once. One is this very modern, very kitschy humor, very, this like modern language of, he's a 10 and I never trust a 10. And this, looking at the camera, breaking the fourth wall like in Fleabag, and making commentary on all the other characters, being, very meta about it. That is one part of the movie. And then the other is like an actually somewhat decent adaptation of Jane Austen's Persuasion. But the problem is they tried to Frankenstein the two together. So some scenes are almost word for word adaptations of the Jane Austen novel. And then other scenes are completely made up for the plot and the drama. And they don't make any sense with the characters or the story or the tone that, at least in the novel, it's a very melancholic, it's a very sad and depressing and infuriating novel because Anne is just stuck with these terrible people and she's, lost her one chance for happiness. So you're frustrated for her and alongside her. And in the movie, they turn it into this giant joke of like, ha ha ha, look at all these really weird and stupid people that she has to live with. Isn't it hilarious? Aren't they just so over the top? And it's like, you're not supposed to find them funny. You're supposed to find them infuriating and you want to like murder them. At least that's how I always felt. Her family just always made me want to just punch them. It's so frustrating because there are moments where I was like, that wasn't so bad. But it's hard to be, to quote Mr. Plinkett, it's hard to be this disappointed when your expectations are so low they're right next to fucking dinosaur bones. It's just, it was pretty much what the trailer made it out to be. So what good things can I say about it? The production value wasn't terrible. The makeup, the hair and makeup were just absolutely blah. So many times Dakota Johnson's Anne Elliot looked like something out of like a Regency era, like People magazine fashion shoot or whatever. I don't know, fashion, but it's like she had like the very plucked eyebrows and the beach waves and the, eyeliner. As people online commented, it's like everyone in this movie looks like they know what the internet is. It's very, very modern hair and makeup. The Regency era clothes, though, from my untrained eye, looked okay. At the very least, the people looked good in them. Like, they flattered each individual actor or character. So I was like, at least from an aesthetic sense, I was like, not too bad. And the cinematography and the set design seemed to be pretty good. So, yeah, like I said, the production value wasn't terrible. It's just the writing was atrocious, as expected. The performances, I won't say whether Dakota Johnson did a good or a bad job, because I was just so infuriated with how they changed the character that I couldn't be impartial about it. I guess she did fine. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Henry Golding as Mr. Elliot. I know, people online were like, why is Henry Golding playing the villain? He should be playing the romantic lead. And I'm like, when you see him show up, you want them to change the ending of the movie so that she does end up with Mr. Elliot instead of Mr. Wentworth, because, bruh, he looks so hot in this movie. Woo, Henry Golding in Regency era clothes, man. Looking good. He can get it. Yeah, he did an excellent job. He was very smug. I don't think that that's Mr. Elliot from the book necessarily, but I was like, it worked. For whatever reason, I think it's just because it's Henry Golding and he's charming. It works, I guess. And honestly, I would say the best performance was Cosmo Jarvis, who plays Mr. Wentworth. I wasn't expecting a lot of him, but he seemed to have a very dignified, very, serious, like, where everybody else was, like, ridiculous and over the top. He was the one who seemed the most grounded and the most real and the most accurate to his character from the book. So I think that was partially why I liked him. But just in general, I thought his performance was really, really good. So props to him. I don't know if I've seen him in anything, probably because he's British and I watch everything that's British, but yeah, he did pretty good. So, and then Richard E. Grant was good as her dad, as I had predicted. But the problem was he wasn't in the movie very much. And they kind of just, he's in maybe, 3 scenes? And he doesn't get a lot to work with. But what he does get to work with, I was like, this feels very accurate to Sir Walter Elliot. Just ridiculous and vain and just so self-absorbed and self-conceited. So, yeah, not in it that much though, which was kind of frustrating. But yeah, everything else is just terrible. And for those of you who are not Jane Austen fans and you're like, well, I just don't understand, like, why are you so hung up over this? Just imagine someone takes your favorite painting of all time, takes a photo of it, runs it through Instagram filters, then prints out a photocopy of that Instagram filtered version of your favorite painting, and then takes a giant shit all over it. That's kind of how this movie felt to me. It's like it's a copy of an Instagram filtered version of a thing that was, a masterpiece. And then you just shat all over it. So, this writing team apparently is working on adaptations of Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice. And admittedly, I think that this style of writing would work slightly better with those books because they weren't quite as serious. Since Jane Austen wrote Persuasion at the end of her life when she was, I don't know if she was sick or if she was dying, but she was, she was getting older. She was not in the best of health. She didn't have the best family relationships. She was dirt poor. And the book Persuasion really reflects that tone and that just kind of melancholic, almost depressive attitude or outlook. And Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility has some moments of real seriousness, but Pride and Prejudice is mostly just, ridiculous and kind of a comedy of errors sort of thing. And I think, again, this kind of humor could work a little bit better, but it would still, if they're gonna, put modern day dialogue where people say things like, well, I'm an empath, alongside the things that were written in the 1800s, it's just gonna clash in this absolutely absurd way. And I don't think anybody's really gonna get anything out of it. The Austen fans are gonna hate it, and all the casual fans might watch it and be like, well, that was a decent movie, and then never remember it, never think about it ever again. So, if you're gonna make these movies, who are you making them for? Are you gonna make them for someone who will revisit them year in and year out, and who, will quote them religiously and talk about them en masse and have all sorts of internet debates and fights about it? Or are you gonna make it for a casual audience who doesn't understand Jane Austen and who is just kind of dumb, to be quite honest? I'm not saying that if you don't read Jane Austen, you're dumb, but it's just more of, what is the threshold here? Are you writing this for the 13-year-olds who won't get off of TikTok, or are you writing it for the people who grew up with reading Jane Austen, of any age? So, pick your poison here, people. And let's be honest, a lot of this could have been avoided if they had done just one of two things. Either they could have just set it in the modern day where characters could say things like, I'm an empath, or he's a 10 and I never trust a 10, and it wouldn't feel so jarringly out of place. Or they could have just not tried to make Persuasion a comedy at all. That's what they were trying to do, is they were trying to make it a rom-com, and Persuasion, of all of Jane Austen's works, is most definitely not a rom-com. yes, it's technically a comedy because the couple gets together at the end, and it does have elements of romance, but it's not a comedy in that it's funny. It's a comedy in that it's, it has a happy ending. If anything, it feels more like a tragedy up until just like the last 10 minutes or so. I mean, of other adaptations, like only the last, maybe 3 to 5 chapters of the novel is when all the good shit happens. But up until then, it's basically like Anne being burdened by her family and being hated on by everyone, or at least like her immediate family. Her extended family is pretty nice to her. And then, just having to navigate this, relationship with this guy that she had been engaged to, and that they're not really on speaking terms, but they feel awkward around each other and everything. And then, Mr. Elliot being a villain in the background. But no, they tried to make it a rom-com, and it is definitely not that. So it's just infuriating. But anyway, I've been talking about this for almost 13 minutes now, and I'm sure you're all getting plenty bored. So I'll just leave it at that, even though I could say plenty about this. But for another time, perhaps. So I will talk to you all next time with something, and thanks for letting me rant, nerds. Bye!
But next week is Nope, the new Jordan Peele film.
Yeah.
It's been getting really positive buzz. People saw it last night.
Yeah.
The press did. So
the buzz is see it in IMAX. So guess who might be portraying the Alamo this weekend?
Yeah, you can go see it at the Big Show.
No, but they shot it with IMAX cameras, so that's why you'd want to go, is what the word is from those articles. I'm going to go a bunch of times because I've done that before with Peele, and I'll do it again.
So thanks for everybody who's listening, watching. I appreciate it. Sorry about my Warner Brothers rant. They just have irritated me the last couple of weeks.
Sorry about my trip rant.
Nope, that was good stuff. I think we had a really positive show. And if you want to be more positive, see Marcel the Shell. We'll see you next week at the movies for Nope. Thanks for listening.
And also, screw you.
Yeah. What?
It's just a really positive show. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Marcel the Shell. Why do I smile so much? Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot at a real nerd. Can follow the plot and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast, Twitter and Instagram at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it!
What the fuck was that, Zach?
Bye-bye.
No catchphrases on this show.
But I'm trying for something. I want to get something new going on here, Ryan. I mean,
the only catchphrase is "shut the fuck up."
That's my catchphrase. Something that people say to each other in the middle of traffic. Shut the or no, not shut the fuck up. At movie theaters. Oh,
yeah.
That's a Real Nerds t-shirt. You yelling "shut the fuck up" to people who annoy you at the movie theater.
Just call me the marriage breaker.
I kind of want that. I actually do genuinely want that kind of movie. Just a guy who breaks up people's marriages through inconvenient seating at movie theaters.
I'll be the new PSA for Alamo.
It's like the movie License to Wed, but in way reverse.
You sit next to this guy, you talk during this movie, your marriage is broken up.
You could actually probably turn that into a 5-minute PSA from the 50s.
Yep.
Anyway, watch out, marriage broken up. Well, don't sit next to this guy.
I'm going to make sure it happens. See,
it's a caricature of Ryan with gloves on, like a cartoon gloves.
That's right. Choose your seats very carefully.
Picturing Ryan just like with wagging gloved fingers as a cartoon going. Sorry.
If your screen is not completely sold out, leave one seat in between each attempt.
Brad, stop it. I'm going to laugh too hard at this. That's the next t-shirt, please.
We must insist on absolute quiet, like that guy. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
The ending is him pushing that narrator out of the film itself.
Fuck yeah.
I love this idea.